Hello everyone and welcome to the 1992 San Marino Grand Prix. We hope we've got a classic in store for us today, but can anyone stop the mighty Williams pairing? With Nigel Mansell retiring from the previous Grand Prix in Brazil, he'll be looking to step ahead of Senna and win this Grand Prix. He needs it. He cannot drop too many points behind with 25 for a win now. But if I have a look at the grid, Nigel Mansell is on pole, ahead of Ayrton Senna in second place. Game in third place with a fantastic lap, just a long way off them Williams. They are mighty, and Nannini with a fantastic result on home soil just ahead of his teammate Jean Alesi. Brundle out-qualifies his teammate in 6th, Schumacher behind him in 7th place. Suzuki in the footwork ahead of his teammate Alboreto in 9th place. Boutsen not as strong here as they were in Brazil. He's ahead of his teammate Hakkinen at 11th, fantastic result. Andrea De Cesaris and Piero Luigi Martini take 13th and 14th. Comas 15th, 16th, Wengler. Paul Belmondo in the March is 17th, with Morbidelli in 18th, 19th Gasho. Berger with a shocking result in 20th. 21st Modena, and locking out the back of the grid is Johnny Herbert in 22nd place. We're expecting a fast-paced Grand Prix, a fast-paced start. Can Mclaren do anything from third on the grid? Berger all the way down in 20th with a disaster of a qualifying session. But we'll be looking for the lights, and we are go, and it's a great start from Mansell. Senna going to defend Nannini, and again, is he going to get swallowed up? Poor start again. He's not really found the groove at all in his entire career. With start speed does stay ahead of the two Benetton cars, and he has got Nannini, who has jumped him and is up into third place at Ferrari's home Grand Prix here. But we expect, judging by a practice pace, that the McLaren should have the edge on the Ferrari, but we'll see. Not the most exhilarating place to overtake, but despite the long straight just makes up turn 1, sweeping into turn 2. But it's Mansell who leads. Senna in second, Nannini is third, Game is fourth, Brundle 5th, Schumacher 6th, Alesi in 7th place with a shocker of a start. He initially started alongside his teammate in 5th place, but we're going to take a look at the replays. A Jordan there of Gasho who doesn't get started, and Suzuki in the footwork arrows who does not get going. But this is Berger's run down into the first few corners, and he'll be wanting to make up as many places as possible in these opening laps. Points down attempts, so just getting into the top 10 will be huge if Berger can achieve that. But they've touched. The Minardi is into the back of Karl Wengler. It's Wengler who's out of the race. He's lost his rear wing. There is a Minardi there of Piero Luigi Martini, I think, who has lost his front wing. And that is a calamity of a start. But Berger's stuck behind the rear wingless and the front wingless cars ahead of him. And it is a tricky section of the track. Hey, look how much time he's losing. The Ligier is scampering off into the distance, and Berger tries to make a move, but we switch back, and we're taking a look at, this is Alboreto in the footwork, and he comes to the end of his Grand Prix with a technical fault on lap 1. But it's the end of lap 1 now, and it's Mansell who leads, still ahead of Ayrton Senna, who is keeping him keen. They're already starting to put a bit of distance on Nannini in third place, but Game will be all over the back of that scarlet red Ferrari in no time. But Mansell said he needs to win this Grand Prix, retiring in such awful circumstances. This is Jean Alesi. We'll talk about Mansell later. Can he get a good run? And Alesi's round. Oh, he's held it well. Is he going to lose any positions? That's Thierry Boutsen, who sweeps past, and Mika Hakkinen in a fantastic 8th place at the moment. Points for Lotus would be massive, especially for Hakkinen, who we know is a fantastic driver. And we switch to Game, who's got a run on Nannini. Is he going to be able to put any pressure on him as they head into turns 2 and 3? It's a run. Is he going to try a dive at the inside? Nannini defends. The inside lap of Game's going to make a move. He swipes. Wonderfully avoided from Nannini, who saw it coming. He sweeps around the outside and remains in third place. Fantastic driving from Alessandro Nannini, who stays in third place to the delight of the Italian crowd, who on Game runs a little bit wide. He's on the grass, but it's downhill. Fingers crossed that won't affect him too much, and he's already on the back of Nannini's Ferrari. He's going to find it incredibly tough to keep the McLaren driver, the world champion, behind him. But this is Eric Comas, who we believe is stuck in gear. He's going to peel off into the pit, yes. And he is out after a fantastic Brazilian Grand Prix that saw... Well, actually, no, Comas retired there as well. But after Ligier's fantastic result at Brazil, one car is out of the race already. And it's poor Eric Comas again. But we jump on board with the world champion game. And he is quite far back. But the run, the Honda engine is fantastic. But he's probably a little bit too far back here to try anything on the Nannini. They are both pulling away from the two Benettons of Brundle and Schumacher. Schumacher doesn't appear to be all over the back of his teammates, so I can't imagine team orders will come into effect. But Benetton expecting some big upgrades for the Spanish Grand Prix next time out, but we shall have to see if they progress them any further up the grid. But Game needs a good run out of this final chicane, and he sweeps it nicely. That is fantastic. He's got the run. This is as close as he's been so far this Grand Prix. Is he going to be able to... he's going to sweep in. He's going to sweep in. Nannini defending the inside line, but Game's going to sweep back and get into the slipstream of the Ferrari. He's going to dip a wheel on the grass. Oh, and that was risky stuff at nearly 200 miles an hour. And he brakes. Is he going to get the car stopped? He is. What a move. What an important move. And he is ahead of Nannini, and that should be done and dusted for the Grand Prix. And he's put himself back up into a podium spot. Don't think he's going to have the pace to put any pressure on the Williams too, but getting into third place is important. He's had a struggling start to this World Championship and his defence. But we look at the Minardi, who are expecting a big engine upgrade for the Spanish Grand Prix next time out. And that's all they can ask for. Minardi are going to said they're going to put some more work into development of the car. And it's gone. They're going to need that engine a little bit sooner. They are. That is a massive fire from the Audi in the back of the Minardi, and huge smoke. Let's have a look. It just puffs flames, and that engine is doing no more miles today. And Minardi and Morbidelli are out of the San Marino Grand Prix. We switch back. We're looking at the back of Martin Brundle's car, looking back on Michael Schumacher, who, this is new to him. It's the first time he's been behind his teammate Martin Brundle, and this will do Martin Brundle's confidence a world of good. But Martin Brundle isn't really under a lot of threat from Michael Schumacher, who has been touted as a future world champion. And Benetton are on the up. They're getting faster and faster, and they hope to be challenging at least Mclaren soon. But we switch. We're looking at Gerhard Berger, who tries to move up the inside of Paul Belmondo. Amando is out wide, narrowly missing the tyre barrier, which could have been a catastrophic crash. But that's Berger. But he's only up into 12th place at this present point in time. He'll be wanting to make a bit more of an imprint into this Grand Prix. But Game is expected to come into the pits at the end of this lap, and we are definitely coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Get rid of these tyres. Fresh lick of fuel. World Champions Garage. And he dances in. McLaren will get all 4 tyres off, fill the tank, put all 4 tyres back on, and he'll be underway. And he'll be expecting the 2 Williams and Nannini to pit. He should stay ahead of Nannini, put the gap to about 2 seconds before the pit stop phase. But Nannini is expecting to pit very late in this Grand Prix, but boosting up into 7th. Alesi there in 8th. Alesi is struggling compared to his teammate here. But Game has caught the back of the 2 Benettons, who are yet to come into the pits for fresh tyres and fuel. But he's probably going to have to do this on track, because the McLaren's fuel tank is a bit smaller this year, aiming for more strategic options. But it does mean they do have to pit a bit earlier than everyone else in the Grand Prix. But it's a great run. It's a great run on Michael Schumacher. And this is something we'd love to see more of. Game versus Schumacher. He's going to dip to the inside. Has he got it sweet? He's going to use Martin Brundle's slipstream to help him pass Michael Schumacher, who's in only his 2nd season. Is he going to touch? He narrowly misses the back of the Benetton to lose his front wing. That would have been a disaster, but he hasn't. He's split the 2 Benettons, and surely a move on the Brundle is coming. And is he going to dive here? He is going to make a move up the inside. He lumps the curb. Make sure Brundle does not get a look in, but Brundle's back down. He's lost it on the curb. He could have had a chance to maybe put a bit more pressure on the McLaren driver, but Game up into 4th place. Nannini is expected to pit in the next couple of laps, and we are looking at Jean Alesi, who is stuck. He is stuck behind Thierry Boutsen. He's been trying for laps to try and get past the Ligier Peugeot driver. And it's to no avail, and Alesi's round. Did they touch? Alesi is in the barrier. It doesn't look like he's got any damage, but can he find reverse? He has found reverse. But can this season get any worse for Jean Alesi after a fantastic 1991? Potentially, with a better luck, could have been world champion. We're going to look on board with Boutsen. There's a knock. There's definitely a knock. But Boutsen looked like it was his corner. But this will be a much better angle. We've got Alesi just behind us. And Boutsen, he dives. That's Alesi getting... I think that's Alesi getting frustrated. Frustrated with his position in the race. His troublesome season. But that promotes Mika Hakkinen up into 7th place. Fantastic from the Lotus driver. And here's Nigel Mansell, who leads the Grand Prix still, who's expected to come into the pits, and we expect him to come into the pits at the end of this lap. And, Mansell's got smoke pouring from the back of his Williams. He's out, Senna's hit him. Senna's crumbled into the back of him and lost his front wing. But thankfully, Senna is yards from the pit lane, and he's going to sweep in. Should not lose any time, but go back. Nigel Mansell is out of back-to-back races as we look on board with Senna, and the smoke bellowing into his face. I think he just gets a bit misguided. He does. He's trying to go around the outside. I think he thinks Mansell's going to sweep to the inside and doesn't, suddenly veers right, and Senna ploughs into the back of him. That may not go down too well, depends how Williams sees it, but thankfully for Ayrton Senna, he is yards from the pit lane. But here comes Alessandro Nannini passing Senna in the pit lane into the box. This should promote game back up into 3rd place. Senna leaves the garage, probably only really lost a second. But we're on board with game now, and he should reclaim, or it will be 2nd place actually. It'll be 2nd place, and there's Nannini coming out of the pits, and game has already gone past. Senna though is reporting some suspension damage from his car. With the final lap, it's 3.7. Can Senna crawl that car over the line? And it looks as though he is going to do that. Senna, who drove a fantastic Grand Prix, but very fortunate of the Mansell engine failure, nearly a catastrophic meltdown at the Williams garage, but it's not. He's going to come out of the final chicane as we pass the stricken Williams of Mansell. Ayrton Senna is going to take all 25 points once again, wins the San Marino Grand Prix, game in 2nd place. Nannini on home soil with a fantastic 3rd place. The two Benettons will come home in 4th and 5th. Brundle beating Schumacher for the first time this season. Fantastic from Boutsen in 6th place, but Hakkinen is 7th. And Berger does eventually come across the line to finish in 10th place for the sole point. But Ayrton Senna is your race winner for today. An extensive lead in the World Championship. And there we have the official classification of the Grand Prix. Senna taking 25 points. Game did get the gap down to 1.6. I wonder with one more lap, could we have seen a different winner from today's Grand Prix? Nannini with his first podium for Ferrari. He'll be delighted with that. Brundle beating Schumacher will do wonders for his confidence. Boutsen once again showing that Ligier Peugeot are on the up. But a fantastic drive from Mika Hakkinen in 7th place ahead of the two Tyrrells. And Mclaren getting a point on both cars, with Berger finishing in 10th place. But the big story today is Nigel Mansell with an engine failure costing him what should have been a Grand Prix victory, but a huge amount of retirements today. Both Minardi's out, 2 footworks were out. Jordan did not even get off the ground with Gasher, who stalled on the line and retired from this Grand Prix. But let's have a quick look at the updated Drivers' Championship standings. Stuck in the split. And here we go. We are looking now at Senna. 68 points. 34 points is his championship lead after just 3 rounds. Nannini though finds himself in second place ahead of Thierry Boutsen. Mansell now has slipped down to 4th place after his Grand Prix victory in South Africa. He has not scored a single point, and Schumacher moves level on points. Brundle only a few points behind his teammate now, and Games slots himself into 7th place with a 2nd place result today. But a fantastic Jean Alesi on 8 points in 13th. If you want to push on, he's got a few cars he definitely should be ahead of. Suzuki with a fantastic 8th place and 17 points. That will do wonders. But let's have a look at the team's championship and to see how far Williams are ahead in this. And they are absolutely miles ahead. 93 points to Benetton's 47 in 2nd place. Ferrari will desperately want Jean Alesi to be putting the points on the board to help them overtake Benetton. McLaren on 32 points, not too far behind considering their struggles this season. Ligier Peugeot looks set to be 5th place if all goes well. I can't see anyone behind them really putting a challenge on them. Minardi on 10 points, they'll be pleased with double figures already. Lotus 6 points today from Hakkinen, and that is fan-dabby-dozy. So, have you enjoyed today's Grand Prix? I hope so. It has been a fantastic one. The championship is really hotting up. And if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe, and join us next time for what shall be a sizzling Spanish Grand Prix. Bye bye.